Oh, man. Thank God it's Friday. Thank the good Lord, we made it. And oh, man, it's been a really long Sydney Sweeney, you know? I mean, it's been a long week. Oh, yeah, and happy Halloween. Yeah, happy Halloween. I look, we're definitely doing a family costume later. I was going to get everybody in here and do a little family show-off thing, but honestly, the last couple of days with tearing the office apart and trying to figure out all the tech issues, the office is like a death trap right now. So I was like, nah, that's the last thing I need is like the kids to come in here and get hurt. trying to do a fun little Halloween thing. So we're not going to do that today. But happy Halloween to everybody. We will be going out trick or treat. We do have a family costume. Can anybody guess what our family costume is this year? What do you think? Let me know. What do you think, guys? And also, what are you guys doing for Halloween? Anybody got any cool plans? Any exciting things going on out there? Unfortunately, it's going to be a little rainy tonight, which kind of feels... that kind of sucks. It's been really rainy this week. Gunn, Safran, and DC characters? That would be kind of funny, actually. I should have thought of that. Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is a good idea. You know, yeah. The Bluey family? That's a good one, too. I'm going to put some of these in the old memory banks here. Bianca, thank you so much for 5 gifted. Appreciate you, Bianca. What are you guys doing? You going out tonight? A little trick-or-treating? Taking the little one out? Appreciate you. Thank you so much. So, guys, here's the thing, too. Before we get too started in here, because... what the fuck? We got the Netflix story. This is crazy. This is... It's going to take some attention. It's going to take some time. We're going to have to talk about the Netflix thing. It's pretty wild. Warner Brothers. Then I want to talk about the Doomsday trailer. A lot of rumors out there about this thing. I think Marvel's about to change the entire narrative around Avengers Doomsday, if these rumors are to be believed. So we got to get into that. There's a couple of smaller stories I really want to get into, like Call of Duty movie. This is actually insane. I talked a lot of shit on the Call of Duty movie, especially because they had originally wanted Steven Spielberg's involvement and kind of passed on it. I was like, what are these people doing? But crazy updates about the Call of Duty movie that are actually awesome. We've got some stuff. GQ goes at Star Wars throats. Super Smash Bros. Movie is Nintendo's Avengers Endgame. So there's like a couple of little stories I wanted to pick out and go over today. But before we get into all of that, here's the thing I need from you. Okay, now I've been dealing with some technical issues. Okay? Now, they're a little bit better today, but you can tell there's still a little bit of an issue going on here, okay? So here's what I need. Any of you tech wizards out there, hear me now, because I'm going to explain something to you. Most of the people, this is going to go right over your head, but maybe there's like 1 or 2 of you out there that are going to understand what's going on, and you're going to be able to help Papa Josh fix these problems. Okay? So just bear with me for a second here as I talk to the geeks. Okay? Bear with me. There's nothing that I can see that's wrong with the RAM. There's nothing I could see that's wrong with the graphics card. I'm getting some error messages that make it seem like there is a problem with the graphics card, but like literally I've gone in there. It's not using anywhere near peak the RAM that's available. I went in and tested basically everything you can test with the graphics card itself. It's all operating, from what I can see, as normal. But there's clearly something going on. I've checked the cache on all the browsers. I've checked everything that I can think of. And so there's something going on with the graphics card. And it's a good graphics, like it's a really good graphics card. So like, what is going on? Do I just need, is there like maybe something actually like a connection on board? But wouldn't that show up in some of the reports? So if you're a tech wizard genius person out there, hit me up, man. I'm like, I guess I'm going to potentially have to get a new graphics card or something. I don't just plug it in and out. Yes, I tried all of that. I updated the software. Well, here's the thing. I updated the software. Part of me thinks that maybe one of the updates was corrupted. So I actually think it could be a corruption in one of the most recent drivers, one of the updates for the drivers. But then in that case, what do? Do I just uninstall all the drivers and then reinstall it? And then it's like, how do you even have access to your fucking computer when your graphics card has no drivers? Revert drivers. Yeah, so how do I fix the corrupted drivers? There's a way to revert? I'm like sifting through all of the like bullshit comments. I get it, you guys. Chat's gonna chat. You know what I mean? I get it, but I'm like, who knows what the fuck is going on? Ryan is actually a really good source on graphics card. Okay, cool. I'll hit him up. Because like it's mostly good here. You'll notice a little bit of chugging, and it might crash when I try to record in 4K again. I'm telling you guys right now, like I went through all the paces I could think of. I can't find anything wrong. I'm getting the error messages, but every single thing, like I went deep, dude. And it's like literally every single thing that I could think of is fine. Like there's no error message. It's clocking, it's temp, everything is right within what you would want. You don't need 4K, you're beautiful the way you are. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Maybe it's the stream. No, I don't think it's the stream. I mean, it's clearly the fact that the stream takes puts a strain on the graphics card. You know what I mean? For sure. But what I'm saying to you is like, I don't see a reason, like if, okay, for instance, if I were to look at the, what the hardware was actually doing, and let's say it's using like 99% of the RAM that's available, like just in general, but also on the card, then I'd be like, we're at capacity. That's not happening. So it is not an issue of the computer is using full capacity and it's not enough, right? So yeah, the temps are all in normal range. Yeah. I hope Netflix gets it just to see an internet meltdown. It would certainly cause an internet meltdown. You know what I mean? Like it certainly would. Yeah. What's with the Miss Marvel? That's what? My favorite character? My favorite one of the girls? Yeah, I randomly saw this in the house the other day, and I was like, damn, I've been pretty hard on Miss Marvel lately. Maybe I'll just put her in frame and not mention it. Can we do Stranger Thing watch party? Probably not. We've got terrible luck with watch parties, by the way. Guys, so how many of you were there Wednesday night for the watch party? How many of you were there? How many of you were there when I lost my fucking Terminator-themed keyboard? My fucking dope-ass red LED Skynet Terminator keyboard. God, it's been a fucking week. How many of you were there? Yes, you can see the fucking... I love this keyboard. I loved this keyboard. You know what I'm rocking right now? So Pink John. Okay, and I'm not happy about it. No. You kidding me? I went from fucking Skynet and Terminator to Pinky. Why no replay of the Wednesday member stream? Here, I'll explain what happened. So you guys know I've been having a tough week. And so I was drinking tequila. Maybe a little too much. Arguably a little bit too much. And we were watching the Star Wars thing. We were like one episode in, it was going well. Visions was okay, actually. The first episode wasn't bad. And like, I don't know what happened. I must have like adjusted my chair. I fucking flip a full ass margarita right into my Terminator keyboard. So I raged out. I shut the stream off and I deleted the VOD. That's what happened. That is dead ass what happened. Then I went out and got more tequila. Yeah, it's been a week. Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? It's okay. We made it. The pink one probably better for gaming anyway. I mean, I guess thanks for the silver lining there. Yeah, that's a good positive way to look at it. Appreciate you, man. Okay, let's see what Zach says. Happy Halloween, Nerd Avengers. I hope you're all safe tonight. Josh, I hope you and the family have a great time. Thanks, man. Hey, I'll tell you guys what we're doing. And you can see the pictures later. I'm Ash, the Pokemon trainer, and the kids are Pokemon, and Elise is a Pokemon too. Okay, so Liam is Pikachu. Athena is Eevee, and she's adorable. She's an adorable Eevee. And I think Elisa went with Clefairy because she had like this pink outfit and she just kind of like made pigtails in a circle or whatever and did that. Yeah, she should be Misty, but I think she either didn't get the costume in time or something. Something happened, yeah. Is your PSU high enough for your build, right? Make sure everything is getting enough power. Oh, yeah, no, the power, of course. The power should be good. Breathe it in. That's fear. Poor James Gunn fans hearing Netflix buying Warner Brothers. Yeah, I mean, we're going to get into it. Should we get into it? Is it like enough fucking yapping about your Halloween, Josh? Shut up and dribble time? Should we get into the takes? DC this, Marvel that. Javier Mendez! Appreciate the 5 spot, brother. Circling back, have you plugged any of the errors into ChatGPT? Yes, of course. ChatGPT is an incredible tool. That's going to become like, I don't know if it'll be ChatGPT exactly, but AI in general it'll probably be a thing like where people will be like, did you ask the computer? Because like, duh. Yeah. Put her over there. There's something in your P.O. box. Happy Halloween. Hey, thanks, man. And also, that P.O. box is probably going away. I didn't tell you guys about this, but look, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but so I went away from the USPS. Maybe some of you guys noticed. We used to have a different P.O. box with the USPS. I went to a local place. I went to a local family-owned since 1917 place that still did shipping and still did like P.O. boxes. Okay, so it was technically different. Dude, the fucking USPS just shut them down. This place has literally been around since 1917. Like right up the street from us. They're shutting that shit down. The USPS is revoking their ability to do P.O. boxing and some of the shipping they used to be able to do. This might be happening all around the country, actually. I only just know of a little what happened in my neck of the woods. Fuck. Yeah, so now I'm gonna have to change the P.O. box again, and this local place is going away. Dude, you want to talk about like some mafia shit, right? Like, come on, man. That's ridiculous. Sounds like a targeted attack against you. Look, I'm trying not to frame it that way, Adam, but doesn't it kind of feel like there have been some attacks aimed this way a little bit? Doesn't it kind of feel like maybe we've been on we're thwarting a siege of sorts. Sounds like, yeah. Was up till 6 a.m. trying to figure out why my M1 MacBook Pro won't stream clear with my Sony A7C. It's been going on for weeks. StreamYard, I failed. Yes, that is definitely an issue, man. Yo, what happened to the chat? Are we still streaming? What happened to the chat? Did it disconnect the chat for you guys? What is happening, dude? Okay, Anakin Stark says, Netflix taking over DC. Snyder working with Netflix. Think they tap him on the shoulder to help. Obviously, what if? Do we even want a Snyderverse like DC now? I mean, dude, technically Paramount has a better chance of restoring the Snyderverse than Netflix, I think. Dead ass. Paramount and Snyder are working together on the UFC movie. UFC's home is, yeah. But we'll get into it, brother. Appreciate you, man. C Black says, Chris Gore said Doom will be a tragic figure. He was compared to Eric from Phantom of the Opera. The armor is needed for him to function since his body is broken. Source saw unfinished trailer. Yes, I have it all in my notes, brother. I appreciate the 10 spot. Thank you, C Black. I've got it all in my notes. We're going to go over it, man. So, yeah, let's do DC first. Let's do Netflix first, and then we'll talk some Marvel, because it's actually juicy. The stuff with Marvel's pretty juicy. Yeah. Josh, behind you. Run. No! We still grooving? Okay, hell yeah. Nice. Okay, let's get into it. Actually, let's do a little test here. Let's see if the thing can even handle recording clips today, huh? Let's do a little test. Do a little test of the emergency clips recording broadcast system. How's it look? How's it sound? Everything good? Now let's see if it crashes when I stop. Oh, shit. I think we're good. Okay. I think we're good. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Already. Okay. All right. Let's get into it, man. Let's talk a little bit about this Netflix thing then, huh? This is crazy. People are having a reaction. That's for sure. People having a little reaction there. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, so Netflix might be buying Warner Brothers. What? Yeah, so new reporting, but also, of course, going to give a lot of context here, and I want to explain what I think is going on, because as we've been talking about with this exact story, I actually said this, I believe, on Monday. A lot of the reports that are coming out of this are not necessarily accurate. They all serve a purpose, though. This thing is high stakes, man. This is high fucking stakes. About as high stakes as it gets. And therefore, a lot of the narrative and the sort of sense-making apparatus that is going to tell you what's going on is going to be, let's say, lensed, angled, couched. A lot of people pushing a lot of agendas right now. So we're going to have to take a step back and figure out what's actually going on. But the newest report, which really has shocked many people, is that Netflix is reportedly actively exploring a bid to buy Warner Bros. Assets. Very important word. We're going to come back to that. They've hired the bank that advised Skydance on purchasing Paramount. Feels like a power move. Netflix also has been granted access to Warner Brothers' data room and financial details. This is out of Reuters, guys. This is a big deal. This is big time actual financial what the fuck, holy shit kind of reporting. So, Netflix actively exploring to buy Warner Bros. Assets. Now, this is important because there were reporting, I believe it was either Bloomberg, it was another financial mag within the last couple of weeks that said that Netflix isn't interested in all of Warner Brothers. Okay? They are interested in parts of Warner Brothers. You'd probably think the IP. Now, from Netflix's perspective, IP is something they desperately need. Netflix is spending a lot of money on original IP, and they're trying to crack that. They also have a lot of licenses. You know, they hold the One Piece license, etc., a lot of stuff. I think the future, believe it or not, is still connected to IP, and I think Netflix knows that. And I think Netflix would love a lot of the IP that Warner Brothers has, you know, DC stuff for sure, but, you know, all sorts of stuff that Warner Brothers has, House of the Dragon, all of that stuff, man. Like, Netflix is like, yo, that's a juicy little library of content that you have there, Warner Brothers. How much you want for it? Kind of a situation, okay? They've hired the bank that advised Skydance on purchasing Paramount. That's crazy. Actual money is being spent. This is getting serious. This is actually getting serious. So they have a bank. They have access to the data. That's the last part of this report here. They've gained access to Warner Brothers' data and financial details. So basically getting a look under the skirt or under the hood. Okay? Really looks like actual prep going on for a potential sale or acquisition. Now, the last reporting I saw from Warner Brothers' perspective was Zaslav addressed the board, and I believe he addressed something like 34,000 pertinent employees that were, in some way, he wanted to address that big group of people about what was going on with the company. And he basically said that the offer's just not there. They would need a much bigger offer to justify, and I believe his words are actually really interesting. What he said was either a partial or complete sale of Warner Brothers. So again, a partial sale is still on the table. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. If on the one hand, you might say the IP is what's valuable. And of course it's valuable. That's like, duh. But if I were Zaslav, it would just kind of depend. Okay, so I could see a scenario in which some of these other companies are actually not willing to give you what you think the full company is worth. And Netflix, in some ways, is actually willing to overpay for the IP. You still have distribution channels, maybe legacy, this, that, second, and the third, all kinds of other assets. I could see a scenario in which Zaslav technically justifies this sale and of the IP based on Netflix's like ability to maybe overpay for it, right? That's the only way I could actually see this going down. And frankly, I don't actually think that will go down. Okay, so what is this then? Like, what's actually going on? Well, I believe what this is kind of what we were kind of saying earlier on in the week, maybe even at the end of last week. I think this is just the bidding war thing. The idea of Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers or its IP should be like a really shocking thing to a lot of Hollywood people. And I think it's meant to get that price up. And so I think this reporting here, and honestly, even just the meetings themselves, like Zaslav would be wise to court Netflix, basically, even if it was only to jack the price up because of a bidding war. So this could actually just be like bidding war, like let's kind of get these other people to take this a little bit more seriously, put some actual money behind this thing and get the thing sold kind of a situation, right? So like if I had to tell you straight up what I actually thought was going on, I'm leaning more in that direction. That this and some other stuff that's going on with like Comcast potentially looking at it as well. I think this is actually just the sort of downwind of moves that Zaslav made to try to get the bidding war going on. And there were a lot of reporting that suggested that that's something he desperately wanted to do. And in fact, you could make the argument that it's actually his fiduciary responsibility to create a bidding war for Warner Brothers. If they are for sale, you could make the argument that it's his fiduciary duty to do that, right? And so therefore, to open up the data to Netflix, to pursue a potential actual sale, for Netflix as a company to actually put things in motion, to get close to a sale, all of that is appropriate. I tend to believe it's just to move the needle and not actually to court Netflix as a potential buyer. But here's the thing that I think a lot of people need to realize, and this is something I've tried to say from the start, is that when you get into these sort of situations, what you think will happen, what everybody thinks is going to happen, it doesn't necessarily change that much. However, the chances of a black swan thing happening, the chances of something like out of nowhere happening, go way up. Okay, so I really want you to hear me on that. Because again, basically, you could be looking at a scenario where like Netflix offers something re-fucking ridiculous, like $50 billion, and it's not even the full assets. Maybe it's not even a permanent deal. Like Netflix could make an offer because Netflix is a very, not only are they like a huge market cap company, but they cash flow in ways that other companies do not. Netflix has the ability to have a lot of debt. Netflix can, because they cash flow on a monthly basis. I mean, their financials are very strong, especially compared to a lot of other companies, a lot of other tech companies, but also just in general entertainment companies. There's a reason that Netflix has been the king. Its model is absolutely incredible, right? So, what if Netflix makes an absolutely absurd offer that Warner Brothers literally would? Because here's the thing, you could actually corner Zaslav. If you make the offer that's the best offer, they have to take it. Do you remember what happened to Elon Musk and Twitter? It's a similar kind of situation. Now, there were a lot of other variables there, and Musk was like getting his foot in his mouth a lot more. But remember, they at first didn't want Musk to buy it. Then they legally forced him to buy it. Okay, they legally forced him to buy it. Do you know why? Because it was the best offer. And they had a fiduciary responsibility to the people that held stock in the company, the people that publicly traded. They had a responsibility to do it. Okay? So, like, if Netflix makes a certain offer, I think, technically speaking, Warner Brothers has to accept it. Now, the only way around that would be the board making an argument, or maybe the government stepping in. And we've heard things like maybe the Ellisons have a special, on-ramp to this deal via the Trump administration. Maybe Netflix does not. That's arguable. Maybe the board and a lot of old school Hollywood people don't really want to cozy up to Netflix, even if the money's right. And you could make that argument. That's, by the way, probably something that's been shutting down a lot of offers from the Saudis, because I've been hearing rumors that there have been big money offers from Saudi money funds. And it's probably a similar situation where the board doesn't necessarily feel comfortable. There are maybe ethical, concerns, government concerns, all sorts of things go into this. But I do think there's a potential where, like, if Netflix it's like The Godfather. If Netflix makes the right offer, I think it actually goes away. I think it actually goes to Netflix. And what a crazy ass scenario that would be. I think a lot of people in Hollywood are panicking over the possibility. I think a lot of people don't like Netflix, and that's fair. Chad, I'd like to know where you guys are at with this. Like, are you like, Netflix, no, like whatever. Let me know. Really interested in what you guys think about that. It will probably not surprise you to know I would be a fan of this. I really like Netflix as a company. By the way, one of the things I like about Netflix gets hit by a lot of like left, progressive, wokey kind of people, and then it also gets hit by a lot of like hardcore right people. Netflix, I think, and whenever I see that, I actually think that's a good reputation. I'm not joking at all, because what that indicates to me is like a company that's not actually like technically taking sides, but experimenting enough to have stepped in it enough to have actually butthurt some people on both sides, which I actually think is good, because you have to break a few eggs in this market to make the omelet, right? I actually like it. Netflix is a tech company, and they're very unique as a tech company. Their evolution over the past 10 years and how they've sort of become a hybrid entertainment / tech company is absolutely fascinating. And I think Netflix is, like, I like their corporate culture. I like the decision making over there, partially because they take risks. I know that they've done silly things. They've tried things that didn't work, et cetera, et cetera. I'm being 100% honest. I actually really like the company. I like the stock. And I like the company. So I'm actually a big fan. And I also think that this is a moment where there might be a true need for something alternative. Hollywood itself, the entertainment industry right now, I think is very stagnant. I think it's behind the times. I think it's out of touch. And I do think an actual alternative to a lot of what is happening right now would be very valuable for the industry. And I think Netflix could do it. And I think Netflix armed with WB IP, like with the DC IP, Netflix with that IP, moving into what I think sort of the taste of the audience is kind of turning into. We're going to talk more about, the Call of Duty movie, Sheridan, this crazy stuff that's going on. But like, I think the obvious, and I don't even think this is like a hot take, this is a very mild take. The sensibility of the audience is going in a more conservative direction. It might be going in a more conservative direction from like very, very far left, very progressive, just into a moderate place, or, your mileage may vary on how you view it. But I think it's safe to say that like when a homie's getting like $1 billion development deal and then turning around and signing a writing deal for the Call of Duty movie from the company he just left, like things are heading in a very interesting direction. They're clearly putting value in Sheridan's ability to connect with what they see as a huge part of the audience. That's important. Now, what I think is kind of cool about that is Disney needs pushed around. And right now, I don't think Warner Brothers is the company to push Disney around. Just don't think so. Warner Brothers is acting too much like Disney, actually. Warner Brothers went out and got a Marvel guy. Warner Brothers is actually trying to create basically copy pasta MCU. So I believe that Disney needs pushed around, and I think the entire Hollywood thing needs pushed around. And so I think you need a big player, a new, like, big fish in that pond. And then if that fish succeeds, everyone else will just follow suit. Everyone else will just follow suit. The competition is good. It would force, like, basically I'm saying, like, the only thing that might actually force Disney to kind of like abandoning a lot of the bullshit would be just a clear winner, somebody else that took over that did it. That was like, hey, this is what we're doing now. This is what people want to do. Oh my God, that's working across the street. Holy shit, let's go. And I think Netflix is the company to do that. Again, though, your mileage is going to vary on how you feel about that. There's probably a lot of people that are like, yeah, that's exactly why I hate it. And I'm really worried about that exact thing. And that's fair. You could be right. We could be 3 years from now and be like, oh shit, conservative Hollywood sucks even worse. Like, this was a bad idea. But regardless, that's what's happening. And people are getting paid big money now because they think the future will be fruitful in that direction, right? So yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. What does this mean for Gunn? I have no idea, man. I have no fucking idea. The only thing I know for sure is that, like, bro, there's a reason Gunn answered that way to Boba Talks. By the way, saw an incredible video put out by Paul from Heavy Spoilers. Recommend checking the video out about why he's worried for the DCU. Paul brings up a lot of things that I've been bringing up as well, but he says it in a really nice way with a really digestible, beautiful British accent. So go check that video out. If you can't stand me, if you can't accept Papa Josh trying to tell you, go listen to Paul. He sees what's going on. The DCU is in some serious trouble. So I don't know what it means. I think, though, we're in flux. I think we are in chaos. I think almost anything could happen from here. I think almost anything could happen from here. So anyways, chat, what do you guys think? What do you make of this thing with Netflix? Are you super mad? Are you like whatever about it? Tell me your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. And actually, give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. Uh-oh. Are we good? Everything okay? The fear. I mean, I don't know. There's probably some fear out there for sure. Yeah, probably some fear. 90s, early 2000s. Are you up to date on OPLA news? The One Punch live action news? No, not. I haven't really looked at it. No. Is anyone else having a problem with the stream buffering every 2 seconds, even though the connection is good and the stream resolution is set to auto? Yeah, I don't know about that, but maybe try refreshing it. I'm not sure. If Heavy Spoilers is saying it, everyone else needs to release a video saying the same thing because they're going to get comfortable saying it. I don't know what that means, but yes. Yes. Not only is Netflix making original IP, but they are on top and still growing. It'd be the best interest just to let them have DC. Interesting take. Interesting take. Galen J, what up, brother? Says, morning nerds in New York for the weekend, catching the stream in my Uber. Nerd Adventures for Life. Awesome, man. Appreciate you, bro. Much love. Hope New York treats you good. Oh, yeah, March 10th. I did see that, and that is cool. We're very excited over here about that. Why even is happening? Because I think that a lot of things are changing. I think it's an inflection point in industry, technology. This company was probably going to be sold regardless. I mean, we were talking about Comcast buying this thing like 3 years ago. When Gunn first got hired, we were like, dude, Comcast is going to buy this thing. That's what the reporting was. Zaslav basically was like, yes, I am going to set this up for a sale. Like, that's what it was. We need Cavill to bring in Warhammer. Yeah, buddy. And trust me, he will. And I know you guys are like, but I see what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. I'm aware. Apple buying Disney was a thing as well. Yes, it was a thing. Yeah. I actually kind of wish that would have happened, to be honest with you. I actually kind of wish that would happen. Is Games Workshop a Russian company? No, they're a British company. I don't know about conservative media. As someone raised on god-awful Christian movies, I can say at best it'll be more centrist, at least I hope. Yeah, you know, that's kind of an interesting... It's interesting that you bring that up because I think, frankly, this is one of the problems that conservatives have had when it comes to, like, culture. Liberals are better creatives. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like leftist and basically like 9 out of 10 times or 8 out of 10 times, a really gifted artist is probably going to be left-leaning. Now, there have been incredible right-wing artists as well, but frankly, I do think that's just an issue that that side has had. And I think that's also a part of why, like, some of the messaging just doesn't get through and whatnot. But if you're actually paying attention to what's going on in culture, like really looking at like what Angel Studios is doing, because Angel Studios is not just making like, you know, kind of what you're describing, like god-awful Christian movies from back in the day. They're actually trying to like just create entertainment. Like just create entertainment and have the message float under the boats. Like the subtext of the conservative message should be there, right? You're actually seeing that. And I think the truth is this. What I'm referring to is I think there's a thirst in the audience. I think there's a thirst in the audience. Now, I don't know if Hollywood is equipped to actually serve this thirst, right? But I know that that thirst exists, and I think you can see evidence of it in all sorts of different data points, right? But it does have to actually be good art. It can't be just shit like... And I think that's a major problem with a lot of conservative art. It just sucks ass, dude. Like, it just sucks ass, a lot of it. So what does that look like moving forward? I really don't know. I mean, that's why Sheridan is such a valuable asset. They paid this guy $1 billion because he can do this. He can create really compelling art that speaks to that thirst. Don't you see? That's what makes him valuable in the market. If it did, I mean, why did he get paid $1 billion? Why do you think he got paid $1 billion? Right? But yeah, it's a fair question. I agree. I think there's a slight correlation between left-brain people and more conservative, vice versa. Outliers exist, obviously. Yeah, I mean, so I'm a big believer in like what they call personality type psychology. You know, like, have you ever taken like Myers-Briggs or the Big Five? There's like a hexa something or other. It's basically all a version of, hey, I'm built in a certain way that I have certain personality traits that just emerge out of my psyche, and so I'm more likely to like do this thing or perceive this information this way. And I think personality type is like, it's a huge part of what makes you you. Right? And there's a correlation, not exactly causal, and it's not exactly like one-to-one, but there is a correlation between certain personality types and political ideologies and creative outputs, this, that, second, and the third. Right? Yeah. People love the One Piece live show. It didn't appeal to me, but it's popular. I love that show. I'm really looking forward to that next one, yeah. Have you heard of the new Doomsday trailer leaks? Yes, my brother. That's next up on the top. We're almost done with this one. We're going to get into the Doomsday stuff. Holy, a lot of interest in this Doomsday thing. I mean, I'm interested. Don't worry. We're going to have fun. I'm going to do my thing. I'm an INFP personality, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that is... I think all of that stuff is in a similar vein. There's a lot of different ways to look at it, but it is all kind of boiling down to a similar concept. Yeah. My name is Doom. Okay, let's wrap this up. Any last minute thoughts here on the Netflix, Warner Brothers, industry, this, that, second and third before we get out of here? Guys, what else? Anything else? Anything else? All right, I think we'll call it there. Yeah, I hope Netflix gets it done. Yeah. Yeah. Netflix sucks. What about Sony? The universe wants Snyderverse. Hey, Josh, what's up? Well, chat being chat. Thanks for that. Let's get on to the next one. Do we crash it? Do we crash the stream? All right, should we talk a little Doomsday? Should we talk a little doomsday? Or should we talk a little doomsday? Where's it at? Where you at? Where you at, girl? Hey, where you at, girl? I'm excited to get into this shit. Woo! Okay. All right, guys, I'm not one to be hyperbolic. However, I think that Marvel Studios is about to change the fucking game, and I think they're going to flip the script on the Doomsday conversation. I think they're going to do something that's actually going to shock motherfuckers. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that they're going to do this. Okay, what am I talking about? I'm talking about a teaser trailer that's not even going to be a teaser trailer, guys. Not even going to be a teaser trailer. Far more revealing than we first thought. Let's look at this article and let me explain what's going on here. Rumor, first details on Marvel's Avengers Doomsday teaser revealed. Note, this post contains potential spoilers for Avengers Doomsday. The first teaser trailer, let me just make sure that, okay, we're good. The first teaser trailer for Avengers Doomsday is reportedly ready and will be released alongside James Cameron's Avatar Fire and Ash. Although the teaser is said to be much more, I gotta zoom this in. I'm old. I can't see this shit. Can you guys see this? Yeah, put it over there. Much more than a simple preview. It will give fans exciting first look at what's to come. According to the source close to Chris Gore via Film Thread, a preview cut of Avengers Doomsday has already been seen, though it's not in the trailer. The person who saw it was reportedly surprised by the number of scenes featuring Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom in action. Probably shouldn't actually be that surprising if you know the Russo brothers and how they like to make movies, but fair. Okay, so Downey's Dr. Doom is described as a classic movie monster compared to the Phantom of the Opera, a tragic, tormented, and broken figure. It is said that Dr. Doom needs his armor to survive because his body is completely shattered. Although Chris Gore can be a controversial source, he previously predicted Marvel's chair announcement. Yeah, he's like the only person that had that. According to an inside report, Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures are reportedly planning a major return to CCXP in 2025. Tom Holland, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, what I'm hearing here, and can we find the actual video? Where's it? Do they have the video linked here? Maybe we should watch what Chris actually says, right? Is this the video? What? I don't speak this. Chat, can somebody link me the vid? How long is the vid? I thought it was only like a couple of minutes, right? Maybe I can find it. Because I think they framed it as Marvel being desperate, right? I thought I saw that vid pop up. Wait, what? Where's their clips channel? This is the main channel. Where's the clips? What the hell? Videos. Why is everything... What the hell? Where's the video? Holy shit, dude. What is going on here? Oh, I just saw it pop up too. It's okay. Hey, we're going to keep it together. You know what I mean? There's no reason to freak out. No reason to freak out, chat. I bet it's going to pop up on my homepage. I'm just going to scroll my... Come on. Hey, there it is. Okay.
There's a lot of things I can't mention. I'll just tell you what I can say.
Yeah, tell us.
It's not anything groundbreaking at all.
Okay.
One, the plan is this will premiere. The trailer will be seen with Avatar: Fire and Ash.
That is wild.
That's the plan going forward. Okay. It'll be seen there, which I think will actually really drive up the box office. Right. So that's when people will see it.
He's talking about Fire and Ash. Will drop Fire and
late
Ash.
December. Right. What is it? The 19th? You can look it up. And the person who saw it said it's not finished, not completely finished, but he was this person, he or she, was surprised at the amount of footage they showed of Doom in action. It felt like...
So, Max Blitz, you got to do better, dude. Because you guys suck ass. The way I was reading that article made it seem like they were surprised about the movie, dude. No, he's talking about the fucking trailer.
And this is my interpretation. It felt maybe a little desperate. That they're really... when they say Avengers Doomsday,
now remember, that's his interpretation.
It's not a teaser trailer.
It's not a teaser trailer.
You're gonna get not just a glimpse of Doom.
It's not just a tip.
See Doom.
Yeah.
And the way the character was described in terms of Downey's interpretation of the character is a classic Universal monster, like the Phantom of the Opera. You know, the Lon Chaney Phantom of the Opera. That look, it's a tragic figure and a broken figure, and part of it is his armor, Doom's armor. Okay, Iron Man had the armor, and that was his superpower.
Yeah,
Doom must have the armor because he has a broken body, scarred, and he's going full. Not my words, someone else's words. He went full Universal monster with the interpretation.
So true Darth Vader and not Kylo Ren.
Exactly. The suit, he needs the suit to actually function. So this is almost, you're right, Darth Vader. It's like almost, and frankly, when I saw Star Wars in 1977, the first thing that popped in my head after seeing the movie was, that's kind of like Dr. Doom.
It is, yeah.
Dr. Doom is green and metallic armor.
Yeah, they've always had a similarity, yeah.
Dr. Doom spray painted black.
It all comes full circle.
That was and look, even George Lucas admits it was, he was influenced by Flash Gordon, pop art, Marvel Comics, so makes sense. So this is
yeah, Jack Kirby.
And then, of course,
Jack Kirby's actually a huge influence on Star Wars. Dark Side, the Two Sons. There's like a lot of stuff that, and Kirby, of course, is one of the creators of Doctor Doom. So, a young George Lucas would have read Fantastic Four 1. He would have read the annual. He would have read Fantastic Four 5. Yeah, he knows about Doctor Doom.
Just add the element that Doom has not just his technical and skill with science, also combined with magic.
Which is very
fuck yeah, big deal.
Yeah, so that's really what I can report. Looking at Avatar, which everyone really could have guessed that, not big news, but you will see a lot of Doom in the trailer. What this is Marvel planting the flag and saying,
they're like,
you know what?
Yeah,
boom, this is what we're doing. Get ready for it. And I do think, based on what I heard, that fans will be excited.
Okay, so that's kind of and shout out to Chris Gore, of course. I think has pretty good sources, and it's good to clarify that. I'm glad we found the video because that Max Blitz article was just a little confusing. Okay, so let me break this down. Let me try to explain what I think is going on. And I think Gore is right. And look, the way he frames it is that they're desperate, right? He said, and I think that's even on the thumbnail and everything like that. And they're saying, it's a little bit of a desperate move. I think it's not that he's wrong. It's just that he's framing it in sort of a negative light. I think the truth of the matter is Marvel wants to take control of the Doomsday narrative. Now, when Doomsday was first announced, it was a massive deal and frankly lifted the spirits of a lot of Marvel fans and helped I think, really create a positive couple of months and a lot of excitement around Marvel. But as more and more time went on and it got delayed, not once, but twice, I think there have been a lot of sort of, concerns about it. I think fans are, especially after 3 underperforming Marvel movies and, God, 5 underperforming Marvel shows, it just hasn't felt like it felt when the thing was first announced. And I think the narrative has gotten away from them a little bit. And I think there's been a lot of questions, a lot of concern, and a lot of fatigue, which, by the way, not to belabor this point, but holy shit did I call this. They should not have released 9 fucking projects in 2025. What an absurd, stupid thing to do. But that's why they delayed it even more, by the way. So we know what it is. I think that's what it is. It's not exactly, we're not at a place that feels like the whole world is saying, holy shit, I can't wait to see RDJ Doom, right? We're not there. That's not what is happening. And so I think if they were to just do a little teaser trailer, Doom's voice, one of those sizzler reels that we've seen at, any number of these events, if they were to just tease, give us a little bit more, I think it does nothing to change the narrative. I think it does nothing to turn around the feelings of trepidation, the concerns, the fatigue. It does nothing. And by the way, I want to say this again, and I hate to be that guy, but this is another reason that Marvel is going to be able to turn this around, and Star Wars, the jury's out. Because Marvel is willing to see what is happening and make adjustments and go big. Okay? And so when Chris says that this trailer, first of all, it's absurd that we're even getting this trailer. Even if it was a teaser. It's absurd that a year out from a movie, 6 months out from the next movie that comes out before that movie, it's absurd to get that trailer in general at this time. But this is a unique movie. So it's already crazy, but they're going to dial it up because if these rumors are to be believed, this is not a teaser trailer, and they're going to show you a shit ton of Doctor Doom, and they're going to show you how fucking badass Doctor Doom is right away, dude. So think about it. The narrative right now is like, oh, I don't know. They should have cast somebody else. This, that, second, and the third. I'm not that excited. I don't think Doomsday's going to save Marvel. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. That's what we're at right now, right? So what Marvel is trying to do with this trailer is be like, no, check this shit out. And we're all going to be like, no, my fucking God, holy shit. It's unfucking believable. And then everybody's going to be like, I can't wait to see Doomsday in a year. Okay? So that's what I think is going on. And by the way, as a person that covers Marvel, as a person that, I mean, look, I cover a lot of different things, but Marvel obviously is kind of the main thing over here, and they've been very good to me, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I couldn't be fucking happier, dude. Are you kidding me? Like, this is crazy. They're basically giving me Christmas early, and they're like, hey, we're gonna blow all the fans' minds. Because, like, frankly, guys, you guys already know, a lot of y'all are already on board, I'm on board, but we know that a lot of normies and even people within our community are not. Okay? This is going to be crazy, because if this happens the way I think it's going to happen, and even Gore, who is framing it in a negative way, admits fans will likely be excited. Everybody knows what's going on. They're gonna make some nerds blow their load. Get your special sock out kind of energy. Like, they're going to fucking blow your mind. They're going to blow your fucking mind. And then you're going to come back to the tower, and we're going to have a little conversation about it. It's going to be fucking awesome. I can't wait. Actually, very excited for it. Now, let's talk about some of the other stuff that's going on in the trailer as far as Doom's take, the perspective, because we've heard this Universal Monster thing before, actually. I've always kind of been interested in that, but I think I understand it now. I think I know what's going on. This part's so cool. So they say he's a sympathetic figure, like Phantom of the Opera. Okay, and that they're going Universal Monster. He's this imposing physical force of nature. He wears the suit because his body needs to be kept together. He's tragic. all of these sort of things. Okay, now let's break that down. Now, in comics, Dr. Doom encases his body in the armor for two main reasons. Number one, because he has learned this magic from these monks in Tibet. He's their like prophesied figure, and he truly wants to like embody and kind of become this figurehead. Okay, but the second reason is because he actually wants to stop Mephisto from invading his dreams. In the comics, Mephisto has Doom's mom's soul for a long time. Eventually not, but for a long time, Mephisto has the soul. And while this is going on, Mephisto would fuck with Doom. So basically, like, Doom would have a dream, and Mephisto would, like, take him into hell in the dreamscape or, like, fuck with him during the dream, send nightmares into his dreams. So in order to get Mephisto's presence completely away from Doom, he encases his body completely. Okay? Now, there is a thing when this happens where he literally puts the mask as it's coming out of the forge onto his face. His skin burns, fuses to the mask. And the idea there is, like, he'll never take this shit off. He is Doom. This is basically, like, his skin. Okay? And so that's the comic book version. By the way, we don't even know if that's actually real because it's all from the perspective of a Doom bot that might have gone insane. But it's the best we have. It's the best we got. Dude, I could gush about it. I could tell you all about it because it's actually like, it starts off as a panel in FF1. It becomes a full page in, I believe, FF8 or no, 5. And then Brubaker specifically takes it into Books of Doom and elaborates on it. Literally the same imagery and stuff. A lot of people that write Doom just really respect the history. Anyway, so what does this mean for the version in the MCU? Well, I think there's two things we got to acknowledge here, okay? Number one, we got to acknowledge that the Doom from the end of the post-credit scene in the Fantastic Four does not appear to be that guy. I don't think that the suit is holding that guy together. What do you think about that? Let's linger on that for a second. Can we linger on that for a second? He clearly has a different suit, right? Right? It's got to be different. So we know there's a time jump. And we know that... at least I believe that Doom, at the point we meet him in the post-credit scene of the Fantastic Four, is actually not being held together. So what happened? What's the dealio? Well, let me ask you a couple questions, guys, and this is fun. This is a fun thought experiment. I like doing this stuff. Can we think of any other time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe where somebody's body was being ripped apart? Can you think of any other time, any other characters that maybe their bodies were being ripped apart? I can think of a couple times. Deadpool's an interesting one, yeah. What about the Guardians of the Galaxy when they hold the Infinity Stones? What about the chick that held the Infinity Stone at the collector's house? Oh man, let me see. I want to find this image. Let me see if I can find this. There was a Doctor Doom annual that Hickman made. Man. So there was this comic recently that came out. Where he had a suit of armor that had like 3 different cosmic cubes. They put celestial blood into him. I gotta find this. I gotta find this page in this panel because I think it's going to explain a lot of what is happening. Essentially, in the story, I can kind of TLDR it for you, okay? And you'll get it. You'll get a sense of what I'm talking about. This is not just Doom. This is Doom at the end of time, fighting against a form of Galactus that has gone mad and eaten everything and is like all powerful and is like going to destroy the entire universe. And this Doom is being held together by his suit. His suit did keep him alive, as did magic, but his suit and magic kept him alive. And I'm telling you right now, they do like a blood transfusion where they put celestial blood in. Yeah, it's the one shot with Valyria, yes. Which, by the way, I had a copy of that, and I gave it away to one of you Nerd Vengers. So one of you Nerd Vengers has my copy of that comic, because I'm such a nice guy. Yeah, so in that book, he gets a blood transfusion with celestial blood. He has a suit that has 3 cosmic cubes in it. His body is all kind of fucked up, but it's being held together and he's like surviving. Okay, so like here's the way that I'm taking this. And this is speculation, guys. This is speculation. So let's be clear. But the way that I'm taking this is that this is a Doom that is willing to sacrifice any and everything to gain the power needed to save the multiverse and basically to become God and recreate the multiverse. And so from the time we see Doctor Doom at that end scene with the Fantastic Four, because if that's really in the 60s, then a lot of the incursions and whatnot have not started to happen yet, right? And so, look, there's a lot of, we don't know exactly what's going on there, but if Doctor Doom gains access to his memories of like the old universe, and he realizes that he's going to need to acquire God level power, then perhaps via technology and his suit and his magic, he is keeping himself together, and he's used all the power that he can, and it completely eroded and like destroyed his body. You know how like the dark hold corrupts, right? If you hold an infinity stone, your body evaporates. Certain relics are so powerful, humans can't touch them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking on this, right? And I like the presentation because I think what they're going to do is present Doom as this like almost eldritch horror, a remnant of a long dead universe and timeline. This thing that was thought of to be destroyed a long time ago, that is now back and seeking its vengeance. And I think they're going to make him seem horrifying, but in a sense sympathetic, right? That's why we've heard this sympathetic thing, because at the end of the day, this universe is false. His real universe was taken from him. His real family, his real friends, everything that was real was taken, right? So I mean, look, I'm kind of down, dude. Like, all of this sounds really cool to me. And I think that's probably why he is held together the way that he is. This is like a Doom at the end of his rope, which is interesting because that implies that the Doom we will see in Secret Wars will very likely be more like just Downey. Wouldn't that be interesting? God Doom might just be more... I mean, this is kind of interesting. And also, too, I would just say that, you know, when you drop a big Hickman Doctor Doom comic as you're cooking up Doctor Doom shit, I think there was always going to be some influence there that was pulled. The thing, as Feige with CCO, he likes a lot of synergy between the comics and the MCU, sometimes to the detriment of both, actually. But we know that that synergy is something he thinks about. And we also know that Kevin loves to farm Hickman's comics for ideas for the MCU. And how could you not? He's absolutely incredible. Right? So, yeah, for sure, man. I think that is, I think that's the whole situation there. So those are my thoughts on it, guys. This is really fucking cool. If this is real, then in about a month, maybe 2, the entire narrative's going to change. We're going to get a first look at Doom. We're going to have to, like, I'm going to do so many videos breaking down the magic, the badass shit, all the crazy stuff that Doom is doing in that trailer. Wow, what a world. Like, we'll wake up in a whole different world if this is real and this actually happens. So that's what it is, and that's what I think is going on with the Doom character, the monster, all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, guys? What do you think about that? What do y'all think about that? A seasoned Doom that's been tough, that's been through some stuff. Yeah. The fact that F4 Doom looks like a Halloween costume shows that they're still unsure of what to do with him. Is that what you think? I suppose that's a way to take it. That's not what I think. Josh, do you think the real Tony Stark is? What do you mean, the real Tony Stark is? I think there's a lot of real Tony Starks in the multiverse. Maybe the suit we see Doom wearing in the end credit scene F4 is his daily business casual suit, and the one we're seeing in the promo is Doom's battle armor. Well, they're so obviously different, right? Like, that's the point. Guys, do you think they literally just did that on accident? They're like, I don't know what to do. Let's just throw this shit on him. Like, that's a take. I don't know how some of y'all get, function in society, but that's a take. That's obviously not what it is. That is there to show you a bookmark. That is there to show you growth. That is there to show you it was this, and now it's this. And they're about to show us full-ass HD awesome Doom in 2 months' time with fully rendered graphics of him actually being a badass, and you don't think they knew what he looked like back then? Come on, guys. Like, this is silly. The real Tony will appear in Secret Wars, in my opinion. Yeah, maybe. If Stark was Doom all along, then there's no such thing as a real Tony Stark, though, right? No, in the original Prime universe, there was a real Tony Stark. Yeah. Like, the whole universe now that we've seen is false. But there was a real one before it. Doom comes from the real one. Okay? Doom is the real Doom. He is both Doom of a different universe, existing as a Doom variant, and yet he is the Doom from... And I know that's trippy, but that's like my understanding of it. It's like he's both. Or he's the current guy that gains access to the old reality and then just flips. Either way, he's Doom. All Dooms think they're the Doom, by the way. Even the Doom bots think they're Doom. Do you think RTJ's Tony will still have a showdown with Doom? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Question the leak of Superior Iron Man with the stones in the TVA. Those stones useless in the TVA. Yeah, but not on the Void, right? Maybe not on the Void, right? Did you start playing Dispatch yet? It's a lot of fun. No, I don't know what that is. I want to play, I kind of want to play Arc Raiders, dude. Arc Raiders seems kind of fun. Anybody in here playing Arc Raiders? Steve McTee says, I had a theory about Doom dreaming Tony's death, and it makes more sense if they introduce him into the multiverse and the stones. Ooh. That's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. What's Dispatch? I don't even know what that is. All right, well, let's call it there on the clip here with the Tony Stark thing and the Doom thing. I think it's pretty crazy, so we'll call it there. Okay. Now, I've got a bunch of, like, smaller stories that we can touch on. So we'll get into that in just a second here. Arc Raiders is fun. You should give it a try. Hell yeah. Maybe I will. How much does it cost? Was it like $40 or something? What is it, like a 40? A 40 buck? What's it cost, like 40? I had a thought about him in my super chat. Okay, let me see here. Let me go back up here then. Piotti Diddy. Do you think the audiences will like the Vader similarities because he's too similar? I love it personally. I hope he gets a sick musical thing with pipe organs like Davy Jones. Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah, I think audiences are going to go nuts for it. I mean, the one thing that Russos can do really well is, like, create aura farming villains. Dude, Thanos was... Do you guys remember thinking like, oh, I wonder how Thanos is going to be. Remember when you first saw Thanos in Infinity War? I mean, guys, they get it. He kicked the shit out of the Hulk. Like, he fucking dog walked the Hulk. He like DDT'd him. Like, he fucking... Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The people that made Thanos into the new Darth Vader, do I think they'll do good on the Doctor Doom? Yeah, I think so, dude. I think so. Yes. So here, in a little bit, can you explain more about your Doom theory? Is Howard the real father of Doom in other universes? Do we know the Doom's father in the comics? Yeah, so no. In what it would be is, technically speaking, there's infinite possibilities. But what you're really asking me is this. In the Prime universe, before the corrupted universe that He Who Remains creates, in that universe, was Howard Stark the father of Victor Von Doom? No. His father was a doctor in Sokovia / Latveria, whatever. Like, that's the story of Doom from the comics. That's likely what they would do for Doom in the Prime universe. We don't know anything about the Prime universe. We don't even know that the Prime universe is real, by the way. This is all from like leaks, rumors, and everything, but I believe it. But here's the point. I think right now, the safest bet is that the Prime universe is what you would think of as the Marvel Comics continuity. Yeah. Is that a new headset? No. Oscar Goldman rebuilt Tony, a man barely alive, using technology to make him better, stronger, and faster. Yeah, no, that's absolutely what happened. 100%. We knew Thanos was a threat, but at the cost of making Hulk look like a punk. Yeah, it was fucking awesome. That's how you like get somebody over. You know, build up the new guy. It's very like wrestling, dude, you know? And by the way, everybody that likes to act like we actually built up to Thanos correctly, like, you guys are high as hell. That's not actually what happened. Like, there was a lot of mystery, a lot of things that were kind of like threaded together. And then like we met Thanos and it all just kind of was made to make sense in Infinity War. Like, that is dead ass what happened. You saw literally less than 5 minutes of Thanos in the entire catalog for 10 years. Don't act like he was actually set up. He wasn't. Infinity War set him up. Just like Doomsday is going to set up Doctor Doom. It's going to be great. Yeah. Would be cool if Doom kills Galactus. That would be cool. I'm not against that. That would be a big get. You'd have to make it make sense though, right? Yeah. Last night, Snyder said Doom Planet was destroyed. Yes, but what planet is that? What planet is that? Everybody's saying the same thing. They're just being told it in different ways. So, you know, it's possible that Doom lived a completely normal life as regular-ass Doctor Doom in 828, and then he realized that actually that was a completely fake reality, and in his real fucking life, in the Prime universe, his planet was destroyed. By who? He Remains. Like, all of this makes sense, actually. Duh. Josh, I think we're getting too hung up on who's a variant of who. Instead, it's an altered multiverse. It's more like sacred geometry with the same actor being different characters. Yeah, that would be a take. I hate it. I hate that. I don't necessarily, I mean, obviously don't hate actual gnosis or actual sacred geometry, but I hate that as an explanation for this twist. That would suck ass, dude. Like, if it's literally like, yeah, the universe plays Scrabble. Sometimes this guy's this, sometimes this guy's that. It's like, that's basically like telling me nothing at all. And there's just no oomph there. Like, what's the story oomph? Damn, it's crazy. Shit can be random, huh? Fuck out of here. That's not exciting. What about the geometry attack on the Rossi? It's not that crucial of a system. No need to send a force there immediately. Yes. Yes. Hey, Josh, if Netflix buys WB, could the future of movies be streaming with no more theatrical releases? I think it'll be a hybrid system. You'll probably have event things in the theaters, and you'll have a lot of stuff that just goes to streaming. And you'll also have a much smaller window, making it more exclusive as far as when the theatrical stuff happens. That's kind of my prediction on that. such a Vader ripoff, though? Oh, who cares? But why later say Vader was a Doom ripoff? No, Vader is more of a Doom ripoff. He was first. Dr. Doom was created first. But Deadpool is a ripoff of Slade Wilson from DC, and yet a lot of people like Deadpool more. So it's not always who's first. Not always. But yeah. Hey, Tim O'Brien, thank you for 5 gifted memberships, my man. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, can we just rapid fire on a couple of smaller stories, guys? And when I say rapid fire, you got to understand, I like to yap. So I don't know how actually rapid we're going to get here. But let me try to pull up a couple of things. I want to get into here. Okay, let's talk about this Call of Duty movie. This is fascinating. Oh, man. I didn't really think the Call of Duty movie was going to be significant. When this was first announced, I kind of had the take of like, Call of Duty's kind of fallen off as a franchise. I don't know that it really excites its own gamer base like it used to. And so it kind of felt like this Hollywood derivative thinking of like, oh, biggest video game metric by sales equal very popular brand, not understanding that like it's kind of on its tail end of popularity, which I still believe, by the way. I still believe that. And then there was the story that came out about Steven Spielberg and how Call of Duty Activision, the controlling party of the game license, said no to Steven Spielberg. You know why? Because Steven Spielberg wanted what is called final cut. He wanted to have complete and total say on what went into the movie, and Activision was just not down. So couple of things that kind of got me off on the wrong foot, bad first impression with the Call of Duty movie. However, recent developments have literally blown my mind, and it's worth diving into this. So first of all, Taylor Sheridan and Peter Berg are developing the live-action Call of Duty movie. Sheridan will co-write the film with Berg, and Berg will direct. Wow, wee wah. This is a pretty big deal. Now, I think one of the reasons this is so big is that Taylor Sheridan is, of course, a very hot, I guess, talent right now. He just signed a $1 billion development deal with NBC Universal. He actually just left Paramount and signed a $1 billion development deal with NBC Universal. And it seems like, unless I'm getting this wrong, chat, correct me if I'm wrong here. It seems like he signed a $1 billion development deal and then turned around and signed a deal with the company he just left to do freelance work for co-writing the Call of Duty movie. Like, did that just happen? Is that really what just happened? God, I'd love to be able to leave a company, sign a $1 billion development deal, and then turn around and get paid probably millions of dollars to co-write what is likely to be a massive movie for the company I literally just left. Holy shit. So that's one side of the story that I think is absolutely fascinating. But the other side of this is like, dude, they're assembling some serious fucking talent for this movie. They didn't get Spielberg, but I mean, to be honest with you, Sheridan is literally maybe as big of draw right now. He might even be legitimately a bigger draw, which I know will cause some people to like not be okay, but I'm just reading the terrain here. And I think Peter Berg is actually very popular. And I think a really good choice for the visceral nature of what you would want to do in a Call of Duty movie. I still have all the beliefs that I have about the brand, but at a time when, again, Hollywood is clearly trying to court the more moderate audience, a conservative base, but also moderate liberal base that likes dude bro content, male-coded content. This is just so obviously the direction of the taste of the audience. And this falls completely in line with that. It has massive brand recognition. It has the fucking guy, the $1 billion fucking middle America development guy. It's got Peter Berg. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, this is kind of wild. Like, this could actually get to $1 billion. This could be $1 billion movie. I have no idea, like, what's the story, which one of the games, like, any of the characters. I don't know shit. But I know they're taking it seriously. I know they're assembling some of the best working talent in Hollywood right now, and not just the best working talent, but the talent that can put butts in seats and can get people to actually view shows. This is serious. This is a serious endeavor. I'm taking it seriously. And I wonder, too, what this could do to the brand of Call of Duty. Because if I were Activision, I'd also start cooking up, the next best version of Call of Duty. I'd probably couple the release of this film with the next new version of Call of Duty that's actually good again. Which is a whole different thing, but holy shit. That could actually create a cultural moment. I would be fascinated to see what that could look like. We're at such a weird turning point. There's so many interesting things going on. And I just think this project has enough ingredients. If they cook, look out. Seriously, look out. This could be a big fucking deal. So anyway, chat, what do you think of this? Let's talk about this for a little bit. Shogun Orta says, it feels like Marvel is confident, but they're revealing a year out in case they need to change Doom. Give them a good look. Yeah, I think that's fair. That's probably true, yeah. Will we get a Call of Doo-Doo joke in the movie, though? Yeah, probably. I don't want this. Why? What part of this could not be appealing? That's crazy talk. Would rather have Netflix than Paramount? Wait a minute. What are you talking about with that? What are you talking about with that? Oh, you're tired of Call of Duty. Understood. Rossi says, Josh is super serial right now. I'm super serial about this. I'm super serial about this. Does COD have lore? Never knew. Yeah, some of the games actually have pretty good characters and lore, although I think that stops pretty early in the series. Feels like they make it. Let's see here. Maybe they'll have a franchise because the games are so IS. Yeah. I mean, I like the Call of Duty sandbox. I think it's still a very popular sandbox. Call of Duty is very similar to Pokemon in the sense that, I mean, it still sells a shit ton of copies. It constantly gets dogged for a lack of innovation. But it's hard for me to look at what's happening and tell and just like what. Pokemon doesn't innovate because you guys are going to fucking buy it no matter what. Call of Duty doesn't need to innovate because you guys are going to buy it no matter what. Right? Like, I wish it would get better. I want it to return to form. You know? But I think like many other things right now, what incentive is there for them to actually do that? Now, I think from a branding perspective, I think this is the shot. And by the way, too, I think they actually do have some hurt pockets. I think EA, especially with the most recent stuff, they're like, yo, we do need to change this. So hopefully they can. And if they did it all here with this movie, that's some good synergy, man. Yeah, same with Halo. Nightwing, you're not wrong. Which is why like indie companies are so important. And this is happening in gaming actually more than Hollywood. And I think it's part of why gaming has been very successful. Somebody with like one or two people can go out and create an actual indie game that blows up that people love. Right? And so there's been a lot of examples of small team indie developers that create content that really resonates with people. And there's been massive AAA, quadruple A studios and big time games like that big Star Wars, BioWare, you know, and then the Dragon Veil and all these games. They're losing millions and millions of dollars, getting absolutely fucked. And the reason that's happening is because there's actually a place for the people to go, right? There's actual alternatives, you know? Nintendo, in a lot of ways, is just rent seeking. They're just rent seeking for the value that they once brought. And now nobody else can make Pokemon. They got it locked up. You can't make Pokemon, and they're very litigious. So they're just rent-seeking. They're not even innovating. Like, they're not adding anything to the conversation. Right? Choppa says, hold that thought, guys. I just decided to bring back gambling. This is Josh. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, my name is Doom. Oh, shit. A lot of hate on gambling these days, too. Did you guys been seeing that? Any news on Cavill's Warhammer franchise? No, nothing new. Nothing new. But Josh, I thought the future of entertainment is anime, not games. Oh my God, you're right. You totally got me, Brixie. I'm banning your ass forever. Smart ass, dumb ass motherfucker. Get the fuck out of my face. God damn. Brixie. And I bet your breath smells like shit, too. Connor says, they should do Call of Duty zombie story, Josh. You would love the deep lore. It's awesome. Yeah, I don't really know much about zombies. I didn't actually know there was lore to it. I guess there would have to be, right? Zombie outbreak, etc., etc. Yeah. As long as it's good, I don't really... Oh, Div. God damn it. I hate that argument. As long as it's good. It's a little more complicated than that, bud. Happy Friday. Hell yeah. Happy Friday. It's been a long Sydney Sweeney. This one's been a long one. Okay. Any other thoughts on the Call of Duty movie? There's really only one other thing I want to bring up today. And then we can get into like a casual, little casual convo. No, I'm banned now, aren't I? No, it's fine. It's fine. I just want to know what COD era. Yeah, that's fair. You would think like Modern Warfare 2, right? Because wasn't that like when the story was good? The future of movies can be more than just one thing. You're banned too. No, I'm just kidding. You're right. You're good. As long as it's good, types aren't invested in anything, and I couldn't be more jealous. Yeah, the as long as it's good types are like, you're just casual. You're just a casual fan, and that's okay. But like fan means fanatic. So if you're over there like, okay, yeah, as long as it's good, you're just not fanatic. You're not fanatical. It's okay. Unless you're like a fan of not being fanatical. You're like radically not radical. Josh, just to clarify the variant idea, it's the multiverse's way of fighting back against Kang. Pretty much the way Loki is going to grow more variants. Yes, I think that's fair. I think that's a good way of looking at it, yeah. Even though it's good, I don't want it. Boom. Hey, that's more like it. Hey, by the way, guys, I watched a really interesting movie last night with, I think, is it Ray Fiennes or Ralph Fiennes? And he plays Odysseus, and it's about his return to Ithaca. I was like, dude, this movie's kind of fucking cool, man. At the end of it, he, if you don't know the story, at the end of it, like, so basically Odysseus' wife doesn't marry the whole time. He goes to the war in Troy, and then all the Odyssey and all of the years lost at sea. She holds out hope, doesn't marry anybody. And then at the end of the movie, it's like the city's, the whole, the kingdom's falling apart, and she needs to marry. And so she does this thing where she's like, if anybody can string Odysseus's bow and shoot through all of these axes, she lays out all these axe heads, and you have to literally shoot the arrow through all of them into the wall, then that'll be the person she marries. And like basically the TLDR, I don't want to do like spoilers for you, but like not only does he like do it, but then he slaughters everybody in the place. It was so cool, dude. He just like kills everybody mercilessly with the bow and arrow, and I was like, this is fucking dope, dude. I don't know much about that part of the story, but I wonder if that'll be in Nolan's John at all. Didn't you say you don't really care about the Odyssey? I never said that. But no, I don't really care about the Odyssey. I actually consider Homer, like Homer's a good writer, but I think he's a propagandist. I don't think Homer's telling the real history of Greece at all. And, but that's like a separate thing. I respect the hustle. Probably a dumb question, as I know you don't care for horror, but have you seen the what? No, I'm not. No. The next Battlefield in Titanfall. Josh, hear me out. I'm serious. The next Battlefield in Titanfall. What? Say what? Nostalgia for the 2000s Marvel animated TV paved the way for the MCU to dominate the younger demos. Young people nowadays have nostalgia for anime and games, not Marvel. Yeah, I think that's probably true. Yeah, I think that's probably true. I'm pumped for what Nolan can do with the story and the visuals. Yeah, true, yeah. No, I mean, that'll probably be an incredible movie, you know? it'll probably be an incredible movie. Somebody should just make a movie about Atlantis. You know what I mean? Like, if we're going to get Homer's version, that's fine. What about Plato's version? Why not talk about Atlantis? You know what I mean? I don't see why we only get the one version. We're just getting Homer's history? Come on, man. I'm about that Atlantis shit, baby. Okay, anyway. Like the real Atlantis. Let's now shift. Let's talk about something else that's kind of fucking cool, guys. Okay? Speaking of video games and how it's definitely the future and not anime. Can we talk about this? This is a scoop from the Pooper Scooper. My Time to Shine. Hello. Says Illumination and Nintendo are planning a shared cinematic universe for Mario and Friends. A Donkey Kong movie is already in active development, while Luigi's Mansion and Princess Peach spin-off are also in the works. They're aiming to introduce more Nintendo characters through their own films, all leading up to a massive Super Smash Bros. Movie event. So this is kind of cool. Now, the reason Shine went this hard, because trust me, she would have split this up into like 5 different scoops that she claimed were the biggest thing in the world, put behind a paywall to try to lure as many poor unfortunate souls into the clutches of her absolute horrible grift. But the reason she broke that and decided to go all out here is because basically this was already out there. People basically spilled the beans, and we're starting to talk about it. And so to make it seem like she was the only one that knew about it, she's just spilling the whole ass beans on it. And I got to tell you, I think it's real. I think it's real, partially because of the other leaks that came out around it. But yes, I do think that Shine actually had this here. And again, she would have piecemealed it out over years. But yeah, now it's just out there, okay? So I believe the report. Now, is this cool? Are we excited about this? I mean, I have some questions because the Zelda movie, and you don't see Zelda on this thing here, which is weird. The Zelda movie is apparently live action. It's like elevated genre, like big sets, planning for years, shooting in New Zealand. We've seen what the characters look like. You know, you can kind of get a sense of the aesthetic and the vibes just from the actress and the actor they cast for the Zelda and Link. That feels different than this, right? Now, because this is Illumination and Nintendo. Okay? So, if it's Illumination and Nintendo, it's animated, and Donkey Kong feels right, Luigi's Mansion feels right, Princess Peach feels right, and then it all leads into a Super Smash Bros. Event. I mean, that would be awesome. I like the idea of that. My only concern is Zelda. Link is like a huge part of this whole thing, and I think Link in Smash Bros. Is awesome. Could you maybe make it work with live action in there? Maybe, but this feels very specific. The language is Illumination and Nintendo are doing the shared cinematic universe. This would be Sony and Nintendo outside of Illumination for the Zelda thing. Right? Technically, the Zelda movie was put into production, or I guess put into early production, before the Mario movie was. Remember? Because when Miyamoto came out to talk about this, he talked about the timetable of the Mario film, but then he said he had been working on the Zelda movie with Avi Arad-san, which is like, God damn it. But anyway, for fucking years is what he said. Years. So, look, I mean, that's like my only kind of concern here, the little asterisk is like, what's going on with Zelda? What's going on with Link? Otherwise, holy shit, this is the next big thing. I've never said that before, too. I'm not hyperbolic, but this is the next big thing. This will make $3 billion. I can't fucking believe it, dude. And I think this could actually make Nintendo bigger than ever as well. And it's like, dude, it feels so similar to the Call of Duty story because it's like, will you motherfuckers please innovate in your games? Nintendo's been releasing the same shit with the IP for like 60 years. You have incredible IP, Nintendo. Don't get me wrong. It's fucking incredible. People love it. But can you just innovate in your games a little bit? Like just a little bit? And then I think I think you guys are fucking rocking and rolling to the break of dawn. You know, like you could take a serious advantage of all of the changes, all of the inflection point stuff, all the shit we're talking about. The potential for this is absolutely huge. This could legit be Endgame level, Doomsday level, Secret Wars level big, because the one thing that Nintendo has, you can't deny this, is, you know, we just saw people in chat talking about like Marvel and how, like, I don't know that Marvel is still connecting with young people. Marvel has kind of fallen off in that sense. Nintendo has for 60 years. It has been getting new people into Nintendo. Young people love Pokemon, Nintendo. The Mario movie was huge for kids. Nintendo, from just an IP building, branding perspective, has kind of fucking killed it over these last 60 years. And I think they are poised to take full advantage of what they have built. I have concerns. I would wish they would innovate, et cetera, but I can't deny this is a big fucking deal, dude. This shit's gonna pop. This shit's gonna pop, guys. So there it is. What do you guys think of this? Chat, what do you think? Reboot Majora's Mask? What? Speaking of when, the fuck are they gonna do Smash for the Switch too? Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about what they're doing. 300 million incoming? Dude, what if every single one of these movies makes $1 billion? Like, what do you think the Donkey Kong movie's gonna make? Because I think it's gonna make a lot of money. Luigi's Mansion? Yeah, I think that's gonna do pretty good. Princess Peach spinoff. Actually, probably gonna do really well. Then maybe they do like a Star Fox or something. You know, like, dude, I'm telling you right now, they got the fucking IP. Samus movie? Yeah, dude, are you kidding me? Donkey Kong? Guys, it's gonna smash, dude. You know? And I heard the first teaser trailer is gonna full on show you Donkey Kong. And his suit is keeping his body together. You know what I mean? This is crazy. Do Star Fox now, Nintendo, you cowards! I agree, dude. I agree. I love those games. Those games were great. The games that innovate won't get a movie deal until they fall off. Damn, that could be true, and I hate it. I understand your point, though. I'd prefer a withering Doom on his last legs with a ruined body taking over Tony Stark's body like Doom did in comic RDJTs rather than the adaptation story. No hate to you, though. Yeah, and maybe that's what it'll be. And maybe I'll be like, oh, shucks, you know. Star Fox directed by James Gunn. You know what? Doesn't mix at all. James Gunn and Nintendo. And, like, there's something there. Just going to be honest with you. One of those movies made $1 billion and had mass appeal across the board. One of them was Superman, which should have made $1 billion and had mass appeal across the board. Don't get me started on that shit, chat. Don't get me started on that shit. Mario Bros. No plot, but great for 3-year-olds. I thought the movie was really fun. It's just like a fun adventure of Mario shit. Little Mario checklist movie. But, like, you'd never seen it before. It's a lot like Marvel. Like, Marvel used to just be able to do the checklist shit. And you'd be like, yo, that was dope. I ain't never seen that shit. Nintendo can do that. And they can ride that out for a while. And then maybe everyone will be like, oh, you're just bringing Mario back for Mario Doomsday because everything's fallen off. You know? They should be so lucky. Josh, are you following the 3-Eye Atlas situation? Only insofar as I'm like, just end it. Like, if that's what's going on, like, I'm pretty sure they saw what was going on with the DCU. And they're like, fucking Clayface? Are you serious? And I think they're here to just, and I'm just like, just don't, like, I don't need the foreplay. You know, try to make it painless. You know, just shut it down. Mm-hmm. Superman inspired 1 billion hearts. Don't need the $1 billion. You need to tell that to the shareholders. You need to, can you craft a letter like that for the Ellisons and everybody? Just be like, don't fire James Gunn, Mr. Ellison, because you might not have got your $1 million, but he inspired 1 million hearts. That's so nice. That's sweet, man. It's the Lanterns having one ring. Dude, exactly, Adam. You get it. 60-year-old Hal Jordan, they were like, I can't fucking abide this shit. What twisted, sick-ass form has the simulation taken? Where Supergirl's now going to come out before the Lantern show? That feels horrible. That doesn't feel right. You're telling me HBO delayed it? You're telling me Gunn can't force HBO? Well, then why did you make such an important piece of your universe with a different fucking company? Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I didn't even touch on that story today. I was going to get out of here clean and not talk shit about how now Lanterns are going to come out after Supergirl, and it's fucking cooked over there. It's over. Connor says, Josh, the COD Zombies lore is actually everything you love. Grand scale multiverse story with a lot of crazy mind-bending stuff, kind of like the comics. I mean, I'm into that, Connor, and you're speaking my language, but is that what they should do for the movie, though? I don't know. What are you being for Halloween? So I'm going to be Ash, the Pokemon trainer. And my kids and my wife are Pokemon. Nuckin' Futz says with a 10 spot says, the no plot thing was a response to another chat. I loved Mario Bros. I think it's at a high bar and they're paving a road for Smash Bros. All those movies need to kick ass like Mario Bros did. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Appreciate the clarification. And the $10. That's very kind of you. Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're kind of on the same page then. I liked the movie. I thought it was adventurous. I think they'll do much better. I think it needs to be better. Like, the next one should be better. But at the same time, like, they just reverse engineered. They were like, what do the Mario fans want to see? And we're like, okay, we'll get our little sequence here with Donkey Kong. We'll get our Mario Kart, you know? We'll get Bowser and the Koopas. You know, it's like they grabbed up all the great little, the stars and all. They did good in that sense. Is that Maze Runner guy? Yes, the Maze Runner guy is still doing the movie from what I hear, yeah. Yeah, from what I hear. Can we have a karaoke night? Yeah, maybe someday we'll have a little karaoke night. Not tonight, though. Do I like Pokemon like that? Liam is the one that drove the costume choice this year. Liam really wanted to be Pokemon. So that's what happened. I like Pokemon, but it was his call. I'm being Dr. Doom? Nice, dude. That's sick. Netflix is never going to buy WB. Forget about it. Oh, no, they would never buy WB. They just want the IP. They just want some of the assets. And if they overpay for them, they'll get them. Everything has a price. Everything in this life has a price. He wanted to be Brock. That's the Rock guy, right? The guy that does all the Rock shit. Did you see the amazing Pokemon AI National Geographic videos? No, I haven't, but I would imagine they're getting pretty crazy. I can hear Josh now in the car. Okay, goddamn it with the Pokemon. Liam is a legend, yeah. He is a little legend. A little legend boy. Man, I'm kind of hungry, guys. What should I go eat? Gonna get out of here soon. Gonna go eat some foods. Maybe try to get into the gym. Yesterday, the Japanese version of Power Rangers is ending their TV broadcast in Japan. I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that. That's wild. Have you told Liam his art sucks yet? No. No. Maybe once or twice. Do all the Green Lanterns exist in the same time on Earth in the comics, or can there only be one Green Lantern per planet? It's varied. Sometimes there's overlap. There is a time when there were 4 terrestrial Green Lanterns. There was a time where John had a ring, Hal had a ring, Kyle had a ring, and Guy had a ring. There was a time when they all 4 had rings, although I think it was very brief, because I think Kyle kind of represents, like, after that a little bit. Bonchon chicken. I'm not sure. What is that? Oh, I don't think about that much at all, hitting with sticks, to be honest. Maybe if we ever did a Diamond Lounge again, I'll talk about that. But hey, did somebody figure out my RAM problem? What's the problem with the RAM? Does the stream look good or is the stream glitching? Because to be honest with you, it could be the video on my end is glitching, but you guys aren't glitching. It's just the RAM on my computer is like not. Or is there a little bit of like every once in a while we get a little blur or like a couple missed frames? Made from fried rice in pressure cooker with some Italian sausage. Ooh, you do? I do glitch a little bit? Okay. You just need to download more? What? Okay. 90% good. Still slight stuttering. Yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Ironically, this problem, the graphics card problem, was probably going on for a while, which was why we were having some issues with like the stream crashing. And then when I was trying to figure out the camera problem, I went so deep that I figured out that we have a graphics card problem. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that, Justin. I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about just biting the bullet and going into the Geek Squad or whatever. Can you talk about Warhammer? Oh, hell yeah, man. I love Warhammer. Really interesting rumors going on right now about the returning Primarchs. A lot of rumors about, because there's one last big Warhammer announcement show. Which, when is that? It's relatively soon, right? One last big Warhammer show for the year. They're going to make some announcements, and then there'll be a bunch of Christmas boxes on sale. Yeah. The preview show, yeah. What do you mean you're just thinking about it? Hey, because the truth is, Justin, I'd rather just figure it out myself. Obviously, I can't do it, but I'm stubborn. Still no release date for Warhammer? No. Although there could be something else during the preview show. I don't know if I don't know that that'll happen, but I'll tell you this. They know what the first show is called. They have the logos for the first show. They're cracking scripts on the first show. That's all I can say. That's all I know. But we will get more updates soon. Yeah. I might know a little bit more, but I can't say. You're not a handyman. Accept it. Justin, you have to understand. There's stubbornness, and then there's Polish stubbornness. Okay? Like, they rode out to try to stop the tanks with horses and spears. Okay? You think that if the Polish people were just a little less stubborn and a little more logical, yeah. Where does low-key stupid fall? Yeah, I'll never admit that. Don't say that. But also, yes. My first Green Lantern was Jon Stewart from the Cartoon Network. Yeah, a lot of people have that experience. I mean, Jon was great in that series, obviously. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Is that where the jokes come from? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Could Disney realistically buy War? Dude, never bring that up again. The Gamer's Guide. I'm going to give you one warning. That's your one warning. Don't they have the best economy in Europe with the lowest crime rates? They're doing pretty well right now. Yeah, Poland is doing pretty well right now. Yeah. Disney Hammer, Jesus. I've always been a John over Hal guy too. Yeah, there's plenty of people that are like that. I mean, I'm not here to like change your mind or whatever. That's fine. Are we getting this whole season of a DC show releasing all at once? Not sure about that. I don't expect that from the Lantern show. I would imagine it's going to come out weekly. That seems like the HBO model. And HBO seems to have a lot of fucking control over the show, which is like weird. But yeah. Kyle is the best Lantern. I think Kyle has the strongest emotional potential. Kyle can tap into the entire spectrum, right? Kyle is what did they call him? He like recharges all the rings after the batteries all go away. I forget what they call it, but like, yeah, Kyle's obviously very special. But like, Hal Jordan is the greatest Green Lantern of all time. He's the strongest willpower. He is that guy. That's who he is. He's the greatest Green Lantern ever. C-Dub says 64 months of Prime Vengeance. Oh, goddamn. Don't take your PC to get fixed at the same place Justin does. Hope the fam has awesome Halloween. What costumes does the fam be rocking tonight? Will there be a nerd theory? There should be a nerd theory on Monday. Absolutely. Been messaging theory a little bit here and there, but he's very busy. I know he's been, getting back from the travel and all that. Costumes tonight. Athena is Eevee. Liam is Pikachu. Elisa wanted to be one of the pink ones. Not Jigglypuff. Clefairy, maybe? Yeah, I think Elisa is going to be Clefairy, and then I'm going to be Ash. Omni Lantern is what I think it was called. I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, Kyle's very special, obviously. But Hal Jordan is the greatest Green Lantern ever. What's Liam again? Pikachu. Whole season drop at once. Oh, you mean if Netflix guys it? Yeah, maybe, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, who knows? Peek at you? No! What else got planned for the weekend, Josh? Any videos or streams? I'm working on videos. I actually have... So yesterday, I was working a bit on... If you're a member and you know the video series we're working on, I actually had some breakthroughs yesterday. So next Wednesday, I'm going to sit all the members down, and I'm actually going to present a edited version of one of those videos and the packaging for the videos and some of the concepts for that video series. So I've been working on that. There's a lot of like other stuff I want to do. I don't know, man. I'm just juggling a lot. So the goal today is like, I want to have a really good stream. There's a couple other things I got to do after this. And then I just want to get in the gym and then have a good night trick-or-treating and hanging out with the fam. And then I have some stuff to do tomorrow morning. And then I usually put a good session of working on Sundays too. Sundays are an important work day for me too, actually, because I like to kind of get ready for the week. You giving out erasers or Warhammer to the trick-or-treaters? No, we're just giving out candy, man. Just doing candy. You never knighted me? Oh my God, X1008. X9008, you are a Nerd Venture now. Holy. A Tootsie Roll person? I actually do like Tootsie Rolls, but my wife handles all of that, so I don't even know what we have. Probably just like your standard bag of candy for Halloween. You know what I mean? I don't think we get too complicated on it. Yeah. Should I hand out transfer sheets to kids? Yeah. You know what would be cool if we had like the whole sidewalk leading up to the house done ceremoniously, almost like you're walking up the steps to the Golden Throne. And then we had everything like ceremonial, and there were candles, and it just looked like a tech priest was there and all that. Like, dude, come on. That would be wild. Yeah, maybe some year. Maybe some year for Halloween, I will literally set up a grimdark shrine, and all the kids will have to enter and swear fealty to the God Emperor of mankind, or they won't be leaving, something like that. I don't know what that means, Gamers Guide. If you could be more clear, I could answer that question better. Would you put money on them leaving Tom Holland out of Doomsday? Because I bet they are. Maybe after credit scene he'll be in. Yeah, I would imagine at this point his role is smaller for that film. I don't think they're going to leave him out, but he might be considered to be left out because of how small his role is. I hope Netflix buys Warner Brothers, dude. I hope they do. I don't think they will, though. I'm dressing up as a Terminator keyboard with tequila all over me for Halloween. It's a very niche costume. How are you going to explain this to people? Because they're going to be like, what are you? What are you supposed to be? Well, in a now deleted stream for the members only on the Den of Nerds live channel, like, come on, man. Josh, if you could bet on Marvel nerd IP like sports betting, would you do it? I would. I love gambling. Okay, but that's probably because I can like handle it, and I've never like gambled away my shit. You know what I mean? Gambling to me is like, I think this, man. I think I have the kind of personality that so wants to be like in control that like I can only enjoy gambling to a point. Because there's a part of my brain that's like somebody's getting over on you, and that's not, I don't enjoy that. I actually really don't enjoy that. And I wish more people had that. Again, going back to personality traits, it's probably just like a sort of downwind effect of one of my personality traits where I'm just very paranoid and I don't trust people. But like I can only enjoy gambling a little bit because I'm like, yeah, the house always wins. Well, guess what? I'm smarter than these motherfuckers. I'm out. Do you know what I mean? Whereas some people take the opposite approach where they're like, the next one I'm going to win. I'm going to win. The next big one's going to win. The next big hit, and it's all good for me, and I'll spend anything to get that big hit or whatever. So, I don't know. Different strokes, different folks. Hey, if you got a gambling problem, stay away from gambling. If you got a drinking problem, stay away from bars. You know what I mean? Myself, I love to get really drunk and gamble. That's why I play craps. House almost has zero involvement. Well, that's why I like poker. The house has zero. That's why there's a rake. You know, I'd rather play the other person. Local casino opening soon. Going opening weekend for the payouts. Oh, hell yeah. That'd be fun, man. I like to sports bet and play blackjack. Yeah, me too, man. I like gambling. I'm referring to the fan base being mad about Hal Jordan potentially dying because of the HBO series. Yeah, no, if he does die, I think a lot of people will be very upset, yeah. Poker style is dealers touching cards, craps, they aren't allowed to touch the dice. Fair, but that's why you burn and turn, right? Are you good at pool? No, not at all. I've messed around a little bit, but no. Yeesh. I'm about to start banning these Snyder dick riders. No, we're pro Snyder over here, Justin. You know, you're going to have to get in a meeting with the mods. I don't want to have another mod civil war, but we're pro Snyder. In fact, I would actually appreciate a lot more Snyder glaze in the chat, to be fair. From the mods, especially. Don't forget Marvel Rivals on Halloween event. Is there a Halloween event, or is it just the zombies mode? Justice League dark movie directed by Del Toro. Dude, that would have been epic. Wasn't that close? Wasn't that going to be a thing? I think I remember some rumors about that, man. Whoo, that would have been sick. Hey, before we get out of here, here's an interesting little article that just popped up from Murphy's Multiverse. Let's see what this is about.
Can you tease how the villain character you're going to play in Spider-Man will be different from your Severance character?
Who says I'm playing a villain? Who says that? Where'd you get that from? Well, you know, I can't say too much about that. I am enjoying my time filming Spider-Man.
You play a great villain. What do you love most about playing villains?
Villains seem to be the most complex. You know, they have a lot of mystery. And so it gives me fun to be able to dive in to those mysteries, you know? Like, who is this person? You know, why they act the way they do?
Okay. By the way, I still believe he's Kang a lot. Dude, occasionally, like, I just get caught in the cookie jar or whatever. People are like, there ain't no way. But no, I'm like actually serious, guys. Like, I really think he's Kang. If we go into this article here on Murphy's Multiverse, I think I think Charles is making a similar point. In August, trade report it indicated that Severance, Mission Impossible, and The Final Reckoning star Tremel Tillman joined the cast of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Initially, word was that Tillman was set to join the fourth installment of the Spider-Man franchise as a villain. However, months into filming, Tillman's role still remains a mystery now. The star has called into question the veracity of those early reports. This is the thing here. Interestingly, despite never having been caught on location yet, Tillman revealed he's already begun working on the film, scheduled to hit theaters on July 31st, 2026. Here's a little interesting quote here. I'm told Marvel has a plan to say goodbye to Kang. They're going to wrap him up. I think they want to give him the boot just to put to bed any. I think they're going to deal with Kang somehow. A small little thing, probably in one of the Avengers movies. I've heard Doctor Doom could be the one that kills him. While reports from early 2025 claimed Tillman was set to take over the role of Kang from Jonathan Majors, more recent insider buzz made the effort to discredit the idea. Truly, yet another villain in Spider-Man Brand New Day seems like overkill, with Tombstone, Scorpion, and allegedly Sadie Sink playing some kind of shape-shifting character to antagonize Spider-Man, while we'll also have to deal with the rampaging Hulk and Punisher. Given the expansive roster of interesting characters in Spider-Man's orbit, there's no doubt that Tillman would be a far greater asset to the MCU as a character, ally, or enemy who can carry beyond one-off appearance in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Yeah. I still think he's Kang, guys. I still think he's Kang, and I still think they're cooking with some Kang shit. But I guess we shall see. But anyway, yeah, just saw that kind of pop up. Wanted to go over it. Oh, all right. Anything else, guys? Gonna get on out of here soon. Been a good week. Actually been a pretty stressful week for sure. But I think we have most of the tech issues ironed out. Most of the tech issues are ironed out. And we'll hopefully get the rest of them solved soon. And we should be back next week. Gonna have a good nerd theory. Should have a lot of interesting videos and content coming out next week, man. I'm excited. I am excited. Oh, yes, Daniel's hot sauce on the old Etsy shop. He said he sent me some. I should go pick it up. Do you think we'll get Thanos Doom spine rib with Kang instead? Maybe. That would be cool. I would be into that. Oh, also, too, I gotta... Oh, dude. Real quick, guys. Real quick. And I gotta hit the Facebook people up. I'm so terrible. They emailed me twice yesterday. I'm so fucking terrible. In fact, I gotta email them. Please, somebody remind me to email them after I get off stream. But apparently I can get early access to the Deadpool VR. Okay? So apparently I can get access to Deadpool VR, and we'll do a stream next week. I'm gonna sort it out, and we'll do a Deadpool VR stream next week. I'm not sure when, but we will. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm excited. All right, everybody. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here. Much love to you all. I hope you guys have a good Halloween night. Get out there, be safe, get some candy, play some video games, have fun, whatever it is you do. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? It's not a bad evil laugh, right? That's not bad. That's pretty decent. Is that a little bit I put a little reverb on it for Matt. Anyway, appreciate you all. Thanks for being here today. Much love. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Hope you have a good weekend, man. Hope you get some candies, do some chilling, get refreshed. Come back at it next week strong. That's what I'm planning to do. That's what I'm planning to do. All right, everybody. Much love, man. Take care. Hey, do me a favor before you get out of here. Actually, make it 2. Wash out. Your stick. Wait, no. Open up your third eye first. God damn it, you fucked it up. Fucking open up your goddamn third eye.